Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in the series we're going to be going over Mars in the signs, and in this episode we're going to be talking about the last sign, the 12th Pisces. Okay, so having your Mars in Pisces in your birth natal chart, and like I always say, this is relevant to anybody. Even if you don't have Mars and Pisces in your birth natal chart, it is so important to understand all these placements because it's going to make it easier for you to understand astrology and how to read your own chart. Okay, there are so many unique ways that you can replicate an energy, so definitely watch. Okay, and of course, before we get into Mars and Pisces, I have to remind you, if you want to book a reading with me, you certainly can. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com, and I'll certainly get forward with you with that. Okay, so getting back into Mars and Pisces, all right? So like we always say, Mars rules our adrenaline, our physical energy, our physique, our muscles, our anger, our temperament, and our raw sexuality, okay? So when we talk about Mars and Pisces, first thing I can say is that energetically, Mars and Pisces are very, very, very passive, okay? Very, very passive energy. So this is like not direct at all. Mars is all about directness and asserting yourself. This is the energy of assertion. But Pisces is not an energy of asserting. Okay, it's an energy of allowing. It's an energy of allowing things to just happen and just letting things go and flow the way they go. So it's passive. It's not initiating. It's kind of on the receptive end. So with Mars and Pisces people, very passive energy, okay? Sometimes I don't even know which is more challenging, Mars and Libra or Mars and Pisces, because, you know, Mars and Libra is just as passive too, but they're still a cardinal air sign, so they can initiate things just more passively, like indirectly. Whereas Mars and Pisces, there's like no energy of initiation at all, really. Okay, this is again the energy of allowing. So they really don't initiate. They really don't take initiation. They really don't lead. Not saying they can't, but it's not natural to this Mars and Pisces energy. And that is such the opposite vibration of Mars. So that's why this placement could be a little bit challenging. Mars and Pisces could definitely be challenging because there's a lack of assertion, a lack of initiation. This energy is the complete opposite. It's incredibly passive. So Mars and Pisces people are very passive, very chill type of energy, not direct. You know, these are not people who are going to get angry like that. They just going to let things flow. They might even be confused about their own anger or assertions that they want to act on. Okay, so it can be hard for these people to take that action. It's like almost like a very laziness, passiveness energy with them. So definitely one of the challenges that come with Mars and Pisces is this passive energy. Your Mars cannot work directly. It cannot work with that straightforward, blunt energy. Also with Mars and Pisces, okay, Mars dealing with our aggression. Because Pisces is so passive, it can be hard for them to act on their aggressions, act on their anger. Okay, they could be very confused and almost fear this energy. And I say fear it because, again, they don't have that directness. Okay, so it's the opposite of their vibration. So it's very weird, but because of this, the opposite actually happens. A lot of Mars and Pisces can attract aggressive people against them. Okay, so because you're not taking on your aggression, because you're so open, okay, and you allow things to happen, you pretty much give that Mars power to other people. So it's like, since you're not asserting yourself, initiating yourself, it gets flipped onto you. People are pushing on their aggression, their assertions on you. Because, again, you come off like a person who doesn't really have much direction, who doesn't really assert themselves. So the opposite happens and people assert themselves against you. And, you know, with Pisces being such a sensitive sign, they feel other people's, you know, emotions. They can kind of take on all of this aggression that people are kind of throwing in front of them. And again, because they don't assert themselves, they're not too comfortable with their anger and that type of stuff. they kind of, again, take on the aggressions of other people. So people are being aggressive with them. People are asserting themselves against them. Pisces has no boundaries. So Mars in Pisces, Mars is like hitting it. Mars is going. So this is like a lot of people being aggressive with you. Okay, Mars in Pisces is like a person who's very sensitive, very chill, not about the fighting, doesn't have strong boundaries. It depends on your chart. You can have Mars in Pisces and have strong boundaries. It depends on your chart. But looking at this place, isolating this placement, not so much. Especially with Mars ruling that energy and that part of you. So basically, people take advantage of that. This is people walking all over you, people asserting themselves against you, people violating your boundaries, people being aggressive with you because, you don't show them any type of aggression back. You don't show them any type of boundaries. Like, this is what it is. Your boundaries getting violated. This aggressive Mars energy going at that Pisces energy. Pisces has no boundaries, so it just happens. So instead of you being able to use the power of Mars, that energy is actually going at you. It's like the opposite's happening. Now it's being against you. So, and this is very important because, again, when we talk about Pisces, Pisces is always about being conscious of the energies that you're not conscious of. Pisces rules the subconscious. So things happening that you're not really aware of. So again, this lack of awareness, this awareness of your assertiveness, of your aggression, of your anger, of your boundaries, because you're not aware of that, people are going to make you aware by, again, violating your boundaries, asserting their energy against you. So this is how you become aware. This is Pisces energy works. Whatever energy it's in, which is Mars we're talking about, that's like the hidden subconscious energy. So you're not conscious of this anger, this adrenaline that you actually do have because you're so passive. But because you're not aware of it, it is acting in a subconscious way. Okay, so that adrenaline anger is operating in a passive, indirect, subconscious way. So again, this is like people asserting their self against you, violating your own boundaries and stuff like that. And honestly, that kind of karmic result should help you understand, hey, I do have boundaries. I can assert myself. I am myself. I don't have to just flow with everything. And basically what I'm saying with Mars and Pisces is the more you're conscious of your boundaries, your assertion, your aggression, your anger, the more you'll be able to use it. The more you'll be able to be conscious of your boundaries being violated. The less you'll be a pushover. So, again, with Mars and Pisces, yes, you can attract people being very aggressive with you because you're not taking on your Mars energy. But this result should allow you to realize, hey, all these people are being aggressive with me. I do have boundaries. I do get angry. And these are things that I do need to be aware of. So use that energy to help you become conscious of what you actually need to protect, what you need to be aware of, which is you, your boundaries, your energy, your adrenaline, your assertion. And the more you do that, the better you'll be. Okay, so it's not as natural, but if you keep practicing this, you can be more aware of your boundaries, be more aware of your power, of your energy, and be more direct with it and actually direct it. Also with Mars and Pisces, yes, this may be a very passive placement with their energy, with their adrenaline. But when they finally do get angry and they finally feel like they just have no choice but to lash out, it is huge. Okay, it could be very, very huge. Like I say, Mars and water signs, they are chill people. They're not hot and heated. But when you get them hot and heated, it becomes heated. Okay, you think about boiling water. Okay, think about a tsunami. Think about when the water starts moving in big waves and you got these big waters, aka emotions, just driving. Water can become very drowning, very dangerous, and very powerful. And this is no exception with Pisces. Okay, Mars and Pisces, all the water signs, including Pisces. So Pisces, it might take the longest to assert themselves, okay, versus Scorpio and Cancer. Scorpio will be able to assert their boundaries, and Cancer eventually will as well too. But Pisces will take the longest. But when they do, I'm telling you, it is a tsunami. And people say, Mars and Pisces, you guys got to be more aware, because when you guys do lash out, it's always too late or random and out of line and too much. But I'm here to say I understand it. The lashing out is big because you guys take in so much. Again, with that Mars and Pisces, people violating your boundaries. Mars, the violation, the assertion, Pisces, the no boundaries. So because these people get violated so much, they are actually holding in a lot. So, water holds and energy absorbs. So when they release, it is a huge tsunami. It is a huge wave. It is crazy. It is the end of the world. It lacks direction too, because it is what it is. And again, like I said, because you guys are taking in so much, people are violating you, you guys hold into things, and that anger finally releases, and it's from things of past, of years. At this point, when a Mars and Pisces is lashing out on you, they are taking things out on you that you're not even aware of. These are things from other people. Other things from other situations and people and things, But I guess you're getting it because you tipped the last point of it. But this, again, is why Mars and Pisces need to bring consciousness into their anger and their adrenaline, because you actually have a lot of it, and because you keep being so passive and ignoring it, you're allowing these negative, like anger and this temperament and these energies, to stay in you, so they don't go away. Just because you're not conscious of something doesn't mean it's not existing. It just means you're not aware of it. That's why when you guys, Mars and Pisces people, finally do lash out, because it takes a long time, but when you guys finally do, it is so crazy and explosive. And, I completely understand it because of the amount of energy that you've been holding in, because you haven't been asserting yourself and asserting your boundaries and stuff. So the lash out can be crazy. It could be delusional. It could just be game over. And a lot of times Mars and Pisces people, after they lash out, they feel bad again. It's like, that's why I think Mars and Pisces might be more challenging than Mars and Libra. Even though Libra is the complete opposite of Mars, Libra still has some of that cardinal energy and that consciousness. It's an air sign, so they're very logical. It's not a sign that's going to be too confused because of, that air energy. They can assert themselves a bit better than the Pisces. The Pisces is complete delusion. Also, in Mars and Pisces, you can be very detached from your body. Mars rules the body, and Pisces rules detachment, kind of daydreaming, the subconscious, being in your imagination. With Pisces is very emotional. It's not physical. You can have, as a Mars and Pisces person, you can be very kind of detached and dissociate from your body. So these are people who, I would say, as far as even the way that they move their bodies, the way that they walk, it's in a very passive, kind of soft, delicate way. You can tell they're not really in their bodies like that, like a Mars and Taurus, or a Mars and Aries. A Mars and Pisces is kind of flowing, they're delicate. And this could be good for dance, which we'll get into, but as just an overall person in terms of their energy and attitude, they're so kind of soft and fluid and delicate with their movement and their energy and their body, because they're not really in it. Okay, Pisces is dissociation. Pisces is imagination. Okay, Pisces is the spiritual body, so it likes to be far away from everything that's very physical and hard. Or it's too much for Pisces. Pisces is sensitive, so they're not in their bodies. They're not really in their bodies like that. That's why they move so fluidly, so softly, because they don't really want to be in this hardcore energy, and this could make them a little ditzy in terms of the way that they move. Maybe they're a little bit slow, a little bit light and delicate, not too aggressive. You can kind of just move them anywhere. They don't really live physically in their body strongly. Okay, it's almost like a detachment. So it does make their movement soft. It does make their movement very passive. It does make them, kind of physically soft. It does come off like that. However, though, With Mars being in Pisces, this, even though they're very detached with their bodies, this can make them really good with dancing. Okay, dancing in Mars and Pisces is a really good placement. Pisces rules the arts and creativity, and being in Mars is the body. So this is having a very creative relationship with your physical body, your physical energy, your physical movement, okay? So this is where the dance comes in. So Mars and Pisces, these people can be naturally creative with their bodies and their movements, and this is where dance comes in. They could be very sensitive to music, okay? Like the music comes on your body, Mars, and being in Pisces, it's very sensitive. So, you align rhythmically easily. Your body is very sensitive to music, to creativity, to rhythm, okay? Water energy, Pisces energy is music. The water is the sound waves. The waves, if you look at music and you look at water, the energies are aligned, okay? And with your Mars being in Pisces, you are music, okay? Your body is music. So this is why you're so sensitive to rhythm, sensitive to sounds and music. This is, and you're creative. So people like this could be freestyle dancers. Mars and Pisces, yes, these people can be very delicate, very passive, but when it comes to the music, when it comes to the art, this is when they become alive, okay? And this is where, that's why I say this is definitely a dancer placement, okay? I'm not saying all Mars and Pisces people are dancers. I actually know a person with Mars and Pisces, and he actually was a dancer, a very good dancer. Not saying you guys all are. You can relate to this in a different way, but there's a good chance you might be, okay? Also, with Mars and Pisces, you can be very intuitive when it comes to high adrenaline situations. So an emergency, anything happening on like a high adrenaline level where people are like worried or concerned or having an emergency, this is where your intuition can really go up. So as the adrenaline goes up, so does the intuition. Mars being your adrenaline, Pisces being your intuition. Okay, so you could be a very, very great person. I feel like Mars and water signs, all Mars and water signs are great people to be around when you're in a situation of emergency. Okay, because their adrenaline goes up. Their ability to take action goes up because they're very highly in tuned. Okay, they're water signs. So Mars and Pisces is no exception as well too. Their adrenalines and their intuition coincide with each other. So there's a big emergency, their intuition is all up there, and they can kind of sense danger and things like that. So a very unique aspect. Oh, with Mars and Pisces, you could have a serious, you can have issues with substances. Pisces rules escapism, not just in the imagination, which is the more healthier, natural way, but also through substances, drug use, okay, with Mars and Pisces. And because this is Mars, this is like in your body, it's almost like you would love to, a lot of Mars and Pisces people can love the feeling of how they detach from their bodies when they are on substances, okay? So the way you kind of feel looser with your body or feel different with your body, the physical changes in your bodies, Mars and Pisces people can really enjoy this, enjoy the escapism, enjoy how it feels when they use these substances and they feel their body kind of changing, whether it feels lighter, whether you feel more fluid, whether you feel more detached. So you got to be careful because this is kind of like an intense transformation when you take substances, because this is Mars, this is aggression, this is the body. So you like to get messed up, okay? You like to feel you physically morphing when you get on drugs, and that could be a dangerous situation because you could get really aggressive with this, okay? Mars being that aggression, okay, and Pisces being the drugs, you could be really aggressive with this and want a lot, or want to do it in high doses so that you feel that body morph, okay, or that body detachment. And again, it could be a strong aggression on the drug, so you got to be careful because Mars is pushing it. You want to feel that physical change, that body high. I like to say with Mars and Pisces, that body high. And you got to be careful because that's intense. And it can cause, some really intense situations with drugs, accidents, overdosing, doing too much. Again, with that Mars energy, doing too much with the drugs, getting into, accidents in difficult situations, passing out, blacking out, all those type of stuff. Be careful with Mars and Pisces. Could definitely overdo it with the drugs because of that aggression. Also with Mars and Pisces, Mars deals with your sexual energy, all right? And it deals with it in the most raw way. This is your body chemistry, your arousal. Being in Pisces is very passive, okay? Pisces isn't even like physical. Pisces is very spiritual. Again, these people like to detach from their bodies. And sex being a very physical activity, and Pisces not being very physical, they could be very detached, okay, from sexuality. It could be more of an imagination thing, okay? So these people would rather watch videos and be in their imagination than actually physically. This can make Mars and Pisces people could be very passive sexually, okay? Not initiating, not really taking the action, being more comfortable on the receptive end, okay, when it comes to sexual activity. Yes, that's Mars and Pisces. I really feel like this is the most difficult Mars placement. I think it's more difficult than Libra because, like I said, Libra has a little bit more direction and definitely clarity. Mars and Pisces can be a very difficult placement because you are not Mars. You don't like to assert yourself. You don't like to be so physical, okay? You're more into the imagination, the subconscious, okay? You like to escape and be in them high energies, okay? So the lower physical, raw, root chakra energy of Mars, could be really, annoying about it. But don't forget, you guys are great dancers. Okay, very great dancers. And the way you can strengthen this placement is, again, with any Pisces 12th house placement, be aware, okay? When people are violating your boundaries, be conscious of it. And I know you're not going to be so aggressive to fight back because you're not a fighter. But the more you're aware of these, at least you could stop yourself in the moment. At least you can check the person in the moment, or try to practice checking. The more aware you are of people violating your boundaries, the easier it is going to be for you to protect them and to assert your boundaries, okay? So definitely be mindful of this. Such an important thing for Mars and Pisces people, because this could be very, very, very challenging, okay? But if you're conscious and you're aware, you can definitely grow this energy and become so much better, okay? And that adrenaline and that creativity and spirituality coming together can create such a powerful energy. So don't miss out on it. Be conscious of your aggression, your assertion, and don't be afraid of your anger. And if you feel that anger, it's justified. That's my point to Mars and Pisces. Whenever you feel that anger, it is justified. It is right. Don't ignore it. It is letting you know that your boundaries are being violated and you have every right to assert them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, you could certainly book a reading with me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com. And I'll certainly get back with you. And I'll check you guys out on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.